webcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello and welcome to our webinar, Virtual Tape Backup for IBM Understanding Virtual Tape Backup and Why You Need It. My name is Ax Seiner. I am Vice President of Solutions here at Electronic Storage Corporation. Little background on our company. We are Electronic Storage Corporation. We are located in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We have been in business for over 30 years in the IBM AS400 world. We are an IBM registered business partner and a Microsoft certified partner. And here in our Tulsa office, we have our own programming staff, technical support staff, sales staff, and headquartered here in Tulsa. So we're going to go ahead and begin. So we're going to talk about how does virtual tape work and what are some of the benefits of virtual tape. So probably the number one thing that folks are looking for in a backup solution when going to virtual disk-to-disk backup is speed. So we're going to talk about how much faster virtual tape backup is compared to physical tape. Restoring and managing your backup. So we're going to talk about how easy and how quickly you can restore and access your virtual tapes so that you can virtually have every tape online available to do any kind of restore of an object, a library, a member from a virtual tape. And managing your backups compared to physical tape. So managing virtual tape backups much easier, much more automated process of managing your day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month backup processes. And we're also going to talk about how virtual tape can help with data protection. Things like replication, encryption, tape protection, and so forth. We'll give you some good information on how to better protect your data as compared to physical tape. Disaster recovery. So disaster recovery is super important in terms of virtual tape because of the fact that you can have an off-site copy of your backup as well as an on-premise copy of your backup. So this means that you get extra data protection, you get faster disaster recovery because your disaster recovery copy can be easily accessible and quickly accessible. We're also going to go over how you can incorporate data deduplication with your backup data, greatly reducing the amount of disk space required for your backups. And also we're going to talk about how that can benefit replication when making additional copies for disaster recovery. So let's talk about the need for speed. So if you're currently using physical tape, you could be looking for a faster backup solution compared to tape. So I've just got a quick bar chart here to show that on the far right is a VTL solution compared to LTO9 and on down. So as you can see, the speeds in virtual tape can be almost twice as much, more than twice as much as compared to physical tape, specifically LTO9. So this can shorten your backup window. This can give more uptime on your system, less time for full system saves when your system is in restricted state. So lots of great benefits there in terms of being able to quickly back up your system as compared to tape. So replacing your physical tape and how to manage that. So will it work with what you're doing today? And the good news is yes, it will work exactly the same as you're using physical tape today. And as we know, the IBM system is basically designed to back up to tape. So when using a virtual tape solution, you're doing the exact same backup procedures. So this creates a very simple transition from physical to virtual tape. You're able to use your existing backup commands, any of the Go Save commands, option 21, fully integrating with BRMS and Robot Save. And even if maybe you're using the Go Save or the Go Backup process, you can even use that for this. Remote management. To be able to remotely manage your backups, you're able to remotely manage your virtual tapes, as opposed to having to, say, go on site and change out tapes daily or weekly. fully automated. So this is a fully automated, unattended process that can be set up to manage your backups so that on-site personnel don't have to dealing with tapes. Multi-thread feature. So this is something we're going to talk about in a little more detail in a quick little demo of our solution, where this is going to help even increase your backup speeds even more with the multi-thread feature capability within LaserVault Vital. Unlimited tape library. So if you're currently using a physical tape library, you do have to change out your tapes when you go through the number of tapes that are in the tape magazine. Well, in this case, you can have up to 16,000 tapes online available in this tape library, in a virtual tape library such as LaserVault, so that really you can have all your tapes online anytime to do restores. Archive and purge. So this is a key feature in the capabilities of automatically and automating a purge process, a retention process for your virtual tapes, and an archive process, meaning that if you have certain tapes that you need to keep for a long period of time, being able to say replicate or move those to cloud storage, move those to another type of storage. Even we can talk about duplicating virtual tapes to physical tapes. Also, fast and reliable recovery times. Being that all of your tapes can be online in the virtual tape library as inventory of tapes and backups, those tapes are always available. They're always available to load into the virtual tape device and perform a restore. Also, reliable recovery time. Things can happen to physical tape. Damage, even summertime heat can damage tapes. So you might have had the experience where the tape comes back from wherever it's offsite stored, and guess what? It doesn't restore. You get errors. And human error. So things like this can happen too, where a tape can get lost, a tape is misplaced, mislabeled, things like this, to where, oops, we can't do a restore at this time because we have an issue with tape. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about deduplication. You might be saying, D, what? If you've not heard of this before. But data deduplication, now this is different than, say, maybe you might be doing save changed objects on the IBM I, say for your daily saves. Well, save changed objects, the object may have changed since it was last saved, but the entire object is saved. Deduplication does block level saves. So what deduplication will do is compare a block to the block that's already been saved. If there's new data in that block or changed data in that block, it is saved. If there is not, then it is not saved. So what you end up with is a decrease in the required storage of your tapes, meaning store all your virtual tapes online with less capacity. So you're definitely saving on storage costs, disk space, and you're also improving protection of those backups. Because what happens with data deduplication, because you can shrink the backups even more than just standard, say, tape compression, you can do double, triple, quadruple the compression compared to tape compression with dedupe. It's also reducing the amount of data that you're having to replicate from, say, your production site to your DR site to cloud storage, or even both. Now, our product does also integrate with Exagrid deduplication appliances, Cohesity, Rubric, and many, many others that customers are leveraging those backup solutions with deduplication, replication, by just simply connecting LaserVault to that storage. And that would include even using a SAN or NAS that you may currently have space available in order to use that storage for your backups. So the ability to leverage your existing storage or deduplication backup appliance, such as Exagrid, Cohesity, Rubric, many others, that's also going to save you time and money on storing your IBM I backups. Okay, so let's just take a quick look at a demo of LaserVault, so I can Vital products. So I can show you some of the features. This is our web interface with secured username and password account that I'm going to log in as an admin. Primarily, this interface is used for configuration. So the ability to use this from your desktop, from a connection from your home office, you can go in and quickly do configuration, create more tapes. Maybe you need to move a tape into a tape drive to do a restore, things like that. But in most cases, this is used for configuration because you're controlling your backups just like you do today from the IBM using go save commands, BRMS, robot save. Well, let's just skip on over here to configuring your virtual tape library within LaserVault. Just to kind of go over some of the parameters here, just the library name corresponds to these options over here to the left that I'll show you in a minute. This library path is going to allow you to point your storage of your virtual tapes and where your backups are to be written. So again, this could be a local disk on a server, which LaserVault is running. This could be a network attached storage path. This could be a deduplication appliance, Exagrid, Cohesity, Rubric, what have you. So this is where you can basically set where you want to apply and write your data. We have emulation LTO2 to LTO8. Now what's key to mention here is that none of those have a storage limit. So if your backup is 20 terabytes, you could really use any of these LTO versions and save that to one tape. So they do not have a storage limit, and also there's no relation in these LTO options in terms of speed. LTO2 would be just as fast as LTO8. The number of storage slots. So I'd mentioned before that this is really an unlimited number of storage slots for the tapes that you want to keep available to perform restores and saves. So this is set to 48 storage slots, means this can hold 48 virtual tapes. You may increase that number anytime that you want. There's no license fee or any other fee that goes with. The product comes standard with up to 16,000 storage slots, and that's a lot of tapes. We talked about the multi-thread process to speed up your backups, and that's called the data block file count. It's currently set to 8. Really what this means is that we're writing data to multiple files during the backup, right? So a tape is loaded into the virtual drive, a save is being performed, and we open up 8 files for that tape on disk and write to those 8 files at the same time during the backup. So this does help speed up the backup process considerably. The sweet spot is between 8 and 16 files. You can actually go all the way up to 32 files. Then we have a write cache feature for backup speed. This goes up to 24 meg. Read cache for restore speeds. LaserVault comes standard with a compression feature. This averages 5-to-1 compression. Deduplication setting here to turn on deduplication rather than compression. If you would just run deduplication, and that is an additional license to our solution. So deduplication again is going to compress your data. We're going to go 10-to-1 or higher as giving you some kind of number in terms of compression, depending on your change rate of the data that you're saving. Production data 10-to-1 higher. Any of your test data or development partitions, if you're saving those, would be considerably higher. Those have a lot less change. But deduplication and using that capability again reduces the storage you're using and also reduces the time to replicate the backups. Standard is encryption. AES 256 encryption, so the data is being written to disk or network storage as encrypted, with this being your encryption key. Replication and retention. So here we have 3 different examples of replication. Network path, meaning that you might have 2 LaserVault servers, 2 locations for SAN NAS storage, where you want the ability to replicate all volumes, virtual volumes, or a set of volumes, dailies, weeklies, whatever that you want to replicate. So I have an example of replicating to another location with the network path. Got an example of replicating to Amazon S3 Cloud Storage, Microsoft Azure. Wasabi is another option that you can set up to do replication to cloud. Now you can do both. So you could do certain volumes to cloud, certain volumes to your DR site, all volumes to both, whatever that you'd like to do in terms of making copies of your backup. Something that you really can't do with tape. There's just not really time to do that. So there is a great advantage of having 2 copies of your backups instead of 1 copy on physical tape. So just looking at some of the parameters, in addition to replication capabilities and email notifications of the replication jobs, so you get an email when the replication job starts, when the replication job completes, and if there happened to be an issue during the replication process, you'd get an email notification. Then down below here, local retention. So you can set retention based on age or number of volumes. So this would be typically the case in which you're not using BRMS or Robot Save, which uses media policies to rotate through tapes. Where if you're using this as a tape device and you're creating a tape, automatically creating a tape for each backup, and you want to be able to set a retention on that tape so that it deletes, the dailies delete after their expiration, the weeklies and the monthlies all delete from the local storage when they're supposed to be deleted from disk. You can initialize or delete the tape here, and then you also have an option for remote retention, so that you can set if these were to be retained for a longer period of time in cloud storage or at your DR site or both, or one or the other, then you can of course set a different retention for those copies of your backups that are being replicated. Now LaserVault connects to the IBM I just like a physical tape, because LaserVault is emulating physical tape or physical tape library. So connection options are SAS from LaserVault to the IBM I, or fiber channel. 8, 16, and 32 gig fiber channel capabilities. With fiber channel, you do have NPIV capabilities. So with each physical fiber channel connection in the LaserVault server, you can have up to 64 tape devices. That could be a tape library with 64 tape drives. That could be 64 individual tape libraries. That could be shared amongst multiple partitions through a switch, zoning, using NPIV. SAS is another way that you can connect LaserVault. And with fiber channel too, I do want to mention you can do direct connect or through switch with fiber channel. And then also you can define security on what kind of features. So any users belonging to these groups, and these groups have access to this particular tape library, they would have certain capabilities within the tape library that they can perform. Okay, so let's take a look at library 1 to show the inventory of tapes that we currently have. So these tapes were created using this button up here at the top left. Just click create. You have 6 characters for your volume serial number. So typically folks use 1, 2, or 3 characters for their prefix, maybe different for their dailies, weeklies, and monthlies. Create multiple tape images, go ahead and initialize those, which is the same as doing an INZ tape, and then you're ready to go. So you're either ready to use those tapes through a daily, weekly, monthly rotation, or you add those tapes into BRMS, use those tapes in Robot Save. But those tapes are set up and ready to go and initialize, and they're going to automatically, before each backup runs, there's your drive. If you have 2 drives, you'll have drive 1 and drive 2, drive 3, whatever. If you have multiple drives, they'll be listed here. But a tape would get automatically loaded into the to the virtual tape drive, and the backup would run automatically. So this is where every save that you need to perform. Yes, there is a recording of this. Someone asked that. Yeah, we do record this, so it'll be available on our YouTube channel and emailed out to you. So all those tapes, now there are some things that you can do here. You can manually move a tape into a drive. So let's say you've got a full system save and you need to use that tape for a demode IPL, and you want to use this drive, which say would be TAP01, for example, or TAP02. You would be able to just move that tape into the drive. Just click this, move, drive 1, move media, and that tape is now loaded, ready to restore. You can click on labels to see the libraries, and you can also do a display tape on the IBM side to see the libraries and the objects that are in that save. You can protect and unprotect the tape, and you can do this automatically from the IBM side. We have a command to protect and we have a command to unprotect, and protecting the tape simply means you cannot delete it. You can't even delete it from here if you're an admin. You can't override it, and you cannot initialize it until it's unprotected. On the IBM side, let's just kind of go show what we have here in terms of LaserVault. So this is my LaserVault tape library. LaserVault tape device would automatically, if you have auto config turned on, once the fiber channel or SAS connection is made to LaserVault, auto config will automatically give you a device description for your tape library or tape device. We do a 9 on this, and we can see all of the tape volumes that are currently in inventory. Once you add tapes, they'll be star inserted. Go ahead and then at that point, if you're using BRMS, you can go ahead and add those into BRMS to their media, for their media class, and then set that up. Now you can also instead, if you're not using a tape library, you're using a tape device. I have also a second connection just to show demo-wise that LaserVault can be used as a tape device, and that is TAP-V2. Okay. Oops. Okay, just so let's sum this up with faster backups, twice as fast, up to twice as fast as LTO9, twice as fast as virtual tape or as physical tape. We talked about and demonstrated how restore and recover in minutes, simply because you can make all of your backups online. And I also want to mention that, if your backups require any kind of audit, those are easily shown within that interface, what you have in inventory in terms of backups. Data protection, so you can protect your tapes, encrypt your data, replicate for disaster recovery. And then we talked about data deduplication, that can dramatically save the save costs and disk space required to store your backups. So in the GoToMeeting panel, the GoToWebinar panel, you can download the list. There's a list of documents. The sizing questionnaire can help us understand what you need in terms of storage, how many LPARs that you're saving, how much data that you're currently saving. Also, we have a couple of videos, a data sheet on IBMI and LaserVault Vital. And for a demo, if you're interested in diving down to more of the capabilities and then discussing your current IBMI environment so that we can configure for you what it is you're looking for. Are you looking for just a software solution where you provide the server or VM environment for the LaserVault Vital software? Because we can just license you the software, providing your own hardware, your own storage, and just giving you the specs. Whether we provide a full turnkey system where it includes server, storage, fiber channel, or SAS, or even a gateway solution where you're going to be using LaserVault to connect to your existing network storage. And you will receive a $50 gift card after the demo. So it's a great way for us to get together and talk about how LaserVault could fit your backup needs in for IBMI. Okay, so thank you all very much for attending. We are doing a drawing for a pair of Bluetooth earbuds after this session. This is being recorded and will be placed onto our YouTube channel, and which the link will be emailed out to all of those that attended. And we've got some time here. I can go ahead. Looks like I've got another question. Got a couple of questions here. Yeah, you're talking about those files that you're backing up, where you're failing because I don't know that you're doing a save while active on that. Maybe it's timing out because you can't get that file. It can't get that file to a point to where it can start saving it. But likely, yeah, that will probably be a similar issue because that's just the way the IBMI is in terms of its backup process. So that's probably not going to change, unfortunately. Yeah, the maximum you can keep backups, let's see here. Yeah, I mean, as long as you have the storage, you can keep them forever. As long as you have the storage to keep them forever, you can, there's other options as well. I mean, cloud storage could be an option for long-term backups to where, how often do you restore that data to where maybe you go with a slower recovery cloud option, which is a lower cost for many cloud providers, that you could store that for many years for not very much cost, because you just don't need that data. It just needs to be archived. But yeah, storing backups on LaserVault, as long as you have the storage, you're good to go in storing and keeping those for as long as you need to. But again, a lot of times say while active doesn't get you out of that little problem there where the file is locked, because the person's because someone didn't get out of the payroll, they left for the day and it's kind of stuck. So okay, doesn't look like there's any other questions. One thing I do want to mention too is that before I wrap this up is installation and training. We do offer on-site installation and training. Most of our installation and training configs are done remotely. This is really simple. It's really just connecting, because LaserVault can come with everything you need: storage, fiber channels, SAS, cabling, so that you just rack the server, connect it like a physical tape device to your existing fiber channel or SAS, HBA, and the IBM turn it on, and everything's loaded and ready to go, and you'll have your new tape device, and we'll help you get the rest of it set up so you can start your backup. So our goal is that you're doing your first backup, the day that the tape drive is configured on the IBM side, tapes are created, and we're ready to go. Oh, we do have another question. No, you don't want to enable compression when doing deduplication. Deduplicated blocks of data are compressed. So you can turn off compression and only enable data deduplication. Okay, great. Well, thanks everyone for your time and attending the webinar, and look for the email with the recording so you can share with others and review anytime that you need. And if you need to go ahead and download any of those documents in the GoToWebinar panel, we'll notify the winner of the Bluetooth earbuds. And if you're looking to see a demo, our contact information is down there. You just shoot us an email at info@laservault.com, and we can set you up a quick demo so we can kind of dive into what your backup requirements are on the IBM. So again, thanks everyone very much, and enjoy the rest of your day.